you guys, welcome back to Drawing with Mike and drawing characters and illustrations from Buddy Pegs, the book. I'm knee-deep in character design and environmental design, but I just wanted to take a moment and share with you guys a really short character illustration that I'm doing that we're going to be putting in the book. This particular character is one of many characters that's going in the book. He's a bicycle rider, um, and he's going to be going on the illustration for Fixies. Fixies, of course, is a hardware store, so there's got to be some hustle and bustle outside the hardware store. It's early in the morning, so I hope you guys enjoy the illustration, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we're going to start in a program that I love to use. Today we're going to be sketching the computer. I love doing stuff traditionally, but that being said, whenever you use digital work, you can really manipulate stuff very easily. And if you make a mess up, you can always go back and redo stuff. So right now, as I had noted, that I'm drawing a bicycle rider. This particular bicycle rider is part of a series of bicycle riders and just background elements and stuff to kind of enrich the entire world of Spokesville, that Wrigley and Watson live in. This particular character isn't going to really have a background per se, but I really like to give each and every small drawing some type of characterization, whether it's a scarf or whether it's a backpack or something like that, because each particular drawing in the entire book is going to have some type of a broader spectrum of character reference for it. So, instead of just drawing a tree, maybe that tree might have a tire swing hanging from it that denotes some kind of activity that was around it. Instead of just doing some mundane and repeating illustration for bike riders that I could do. I mean, I could copy and paste an existing illustration and just copy and paste and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to get in there and delve deep into the world of Spokesville and where these guys live. I love old-timey and classic bicycles, and I'm an avid cyclist myself, and I've had the opportunity to ride some old bicycles, not only from the 1950s, but even earlier than that. And man, they're just a hoot. I just love that. This guy, I was thinking like a really shaggy dog, but then it kind of read true into, I started reading into the character and I was thinking maybe St. Bernard, but then I was thinking kind of just a general, just a large breed dog, whether it's a mix of a shaggy dog and a St. Bernard or, just some of the larger breeds. So I started really fleshing out and just getting into the little details here and there of this character. The program that you see that I'm using in a digital format is called Sketchbook Pro. It's a great tool, just like all the other tools that I use. A lot of people ask me, "Hey, Mike, what program do you use? What computer are you using?" And I always tell them, and I'm very very blunt and pretty frank about it, the fact that the tools are just that. They're tools. They're not at the end of the day, they're not going to get the job done. And in terms of creativity and practice and knowing your anatomy and stuff like that, that all takes practice and a ton of work and a lot of time and stuff like that. So as you see, I gave this little guy, big guy, I gave him a hat, and he's on a three-wheeled bicycle. Maybe he's going to work. As I sit there and I draw this guy, a lot of times I'm listening to music. And this particular time, I was listening to some Marriage of Figaro. So I imagine him, actually I might even do that. I might even give him some headphones. I didn't even think about doing that. See, as I go along and I'm developing the character, little intricacies start going into the, into the broader spectrum of the character design. So he's got a little hat on, and he's got a little backpack. Maybe he's going off to work, and I'll end up giving him headphones in the final. Just that other side of the equation that I think is extremely important whenever you do stuff like this. I remember when I was a kid, I used to, I read a lot and I would look at magazines, and I was really, really into the encyclopedias, because encyclopedias, you had this huge volume of books, 20 some odd books, and I would grab one of those and I would read it every evening, and I would delve into the world, and I would see what was going on in the world. And little did I know that I was building up that entire visual library of different cultures and different things in the world. And I highly recommend it, especially you kids, if you're interested in really building up your drawing skills. Not only practice every day, but start reading a lot. Your life isn't inside of a television or inside of a video game. All those things are important. You're not going to get what you need to be a much better artist and creator if you're always inside of those things. And I always loved reading those books, and I would always look at the photos, or not the photos, the illustrations, and the details, and I would look into them and really delve into that world and immerse myself in that world. And even to this day, I still do that. I'll read a book and just really get into it. So I've switched programs to another program just because I like the texture of the pencil a little bit better. That other program was really used for rough sketching. So right now what I'm doing is called refining the sketch. I'm pushing and pulling those details out that I would like to, giving the fur some texture, adjusting the eyes, giving him a little bit bigger of a pupil, and just really pushing that pose and bringing out that characterization of this guy. So he's an easy read on the page, whenever he gets transferred over to the book. So, I might spend, 25 minutes, 30 minutes on this particular illustration, the little spot illustration, just in the sketch. I'll pull reference before that. I'll pull reference of dogs, of backpacks, if I don't know how to do them, or a three-wheel bicycle if I don't know all the details. I am an avid cyclist. I cycle quite a bit, depending on the weather here in Florida, because that's where I live. Today it's extremely rainy, so I wasn't able to get out today. But that's what the weekends are made for. So I take my camera phone along with me, and there are so many characters on the trail. I know some of you guys are avid trail riders and avid cycle riders. You guys look around your world. Take your camera with you. Take photos of the different people out there. It always makes me laugh, and I always point it out to my son. The really, really serious riders are those who wear all the sponsored outfits and stuff like that. And I never make fun of anybody, but I always observe in a way that tries to bring the humor out of everything. And everybody's out there for fitness, and in here in Florida, it's over 100 degrees sometimes, and they got these bikes that weigh half a pound, and they're wearing lightweight Lycra outfits, and they're out there for fitness. And I always tell my son, I say, if they were really out here for fitness, they would be riding the heaviest bike that they could, and they would be they'd be wearing like sweatshirts and stuff like that to really get their fitness on. But I digress. I'm getting away from the drawing here. So I'm finalizing and refining those details out, and really trying to bring out the style that I have whenever I sketch. I really this is the part that I love the most. It is the creation of something new. It is the little details here and there. Now I have sped it up just a little bit. It's probably 2 times what it normally is. So what you're seeing is not me going at a normal rate. I have sped it up just because I don't want the video to go too long. But yeah, I'm putting in the different details of the bicycle. And whenever you do something like this, especially whenever you have something that's recognizable, cars are one thing, but bicycles, a lot of people don't know how to draw bicycles if you haven't been around them a lot. There's different ways that you have to design the frame so it doesn't collapse and has to look realistic in such a way, but you don't want to be copying any existing frame designs out there. So I really had to kind of push the envelope and say, hey, I wanted to do a three-wheel bicycle, but I really couldn't use a lot of reference, and just copy stuff, because I don't like doing that. So yeah, I'm just putting stuff in right now. I've kind of worked out the side view. I also did another illustration that has another dog that you guys will see in the book whenever it comes out. He's got a scarf, and he was modeled after a dog that I had by the name of Mowgli. And Mowgli was a corgi poo. So a corgi, if you guys know anything about corgis, corgis have really short legs and are really attentive to their owners. And you know, he was kind of mixed with a poodle, but also he had a little bit of schnauzer in him, I think. And I gave him this really cool beard that really reminded me of Mowgli. So it's those little details that whenever you're creating something, whether it be a drawing, whether it be a you know, writing a poem, writing something that has a personal reference to it, you really want to put that personality in there, definitely. You know, so people can relate to it. You know, whenever I go to color this guy, I haven't decided. You know, obviously, I think I'm going to put some earbuds in him, so he's listening to his tunes on his way to work. But also, you know, I might give him. He might be wearing some really colorful socks. I might put some socks on him, maybe a pair of shoes. I don't know. I mean, it's that's what's fun about drawing. That's what's fun about creating. You can basically, you have artistic license, and I intend to use that artistic license as much as I can. You know, I put this little fender on the back to kind of harken back to the old days of cycling, when it was a gentleman's profession, not profession, but a gentleman's practice. For those of you who just saw that right there, I am working on what's called a Surface Pro 3. I basically sat on my sofa this morning, and I just started sketching. I had that desire to get up and really draw, because I try to draw every day. And this is where I'm at. I did this on a small Surface Pro 3 Windows machine. I typically work in a Mac environment, but just for portability, I do have a Surface Pro 3. I also have another machine called a Wacom Cintiq, and that's a portable tablet computer as well, and that's a Windows-based machine, and I love it. And again, that's just a tool. You know, you got to have these. You got to have the skills, you know, obviously to pay the bills. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little short kind of turning back opening up the book of the creation process of what it takes to create the illustrations for Buddy Pegs. And who knows, this particular guy, I mean, I think he would be great on like a coffee cup. I mean, how awesome if we did like a whole series of these, you know, like 10 or 15, and be able to present it to you guys as the different types of cyclists. You know, you have your casual cyclists, you have your commuters, you have all of those guys, and I think that's just a great, you know, that's just a great possibility. And you give it a plush. I mean, he would be fun as a plush, wouldn't he? Have a little stuffed animal. You know, and as far as his name goes, his name could be Hampton. You could call him Hampton. And, you know, who knows, we might do an audio version, you know, that has a visual context to it. And, you know, maybe he stops off at Fixie's or at Buddy Pegs. He's like, "Pardon me, sir, could you please put some air in my tires? I've got a little bit of drag this morning. I've got to get to work." So you never know how it goes. I put a little flag on the back, you know, just for fun, just for fun. Who knows? You know, I might remove it. I haven't decided yet. That's what's fun about the process. So hope you guys enjoy, and we will definitely see you soon, and I'll be posting videos as much as I can. Thank you guys, and support the Kickstarter when it comes out. Bye.